What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Big Boy Fashion TV, and tonight I'll give you guys my WWE NXT review and highlights. So, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch this full video before you connect to me the right way. Also, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Turn on post notifications to get notified when I premiere a brand new video and go live on YouTube. Follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. And let's get started. Now, NXT was a 4.5 out of 10. It would just say solid show. That's all I gotta say. Let me go over the match card. So we get the NXT Championship match: Braun Breaker versus Jinder Mahal. I do not know why Jinder Mahal has a NXT Championship title shot, which I know that Jinder Mahal lost to Braun Breaker. So anyway, let me continue. Jesse Jane versus Indy Hartwell. So we got Lee Dragunov versus Trick Williams. Nah, Ivy Nah versus Albert Frey. Chase U, Andre Chase, and Duke Hudson versus the Jagger, Red, and Rip Flower, accompanied by Joe Gacy and Albert Rain. Then we got Gallus, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang versus Idris and Inafe, and Malik Blade. Then we get Big Joseph Booker T, welcome the audience to the broadcast before quickly transitioning into the opening contest. Okay, so we get Alja Dragunov versus Trick Williams. Good match. This was a good match. Trick Williams immediately caught Dragunov with a cheap shot, but Dragunov responds with a takedown before Trick Williams got a rope break. Dragunov kicked Trick Williams in the abdomen, but Trick Williams leaned Dragunov to the corner. Dragunov hit two vicious chops before locking in a headlock on Trick Williams into a head takeover. Trick Williams reverses it with a headlock, but Dragunov slams Trick Williams to the mat before getting another headlock into a shoulder tackle and high hip headlock takeover on Trick Williams. Trick Williams broke the hold before he hit a jab and a body slam. Dragunov hit a chop, a high knee, a kick to the ribs, and a chop to the chest of Trick Williams. Dragunov hit an Irish whip into a rising knee on Trick Williams before hitting a back elbow on Trick Williams, followed by a forearm strike to Trick Williams' back. Dragunov hit another forearm strike on Trick Williams before climbing the middle rope. But Trick Williams slammed Dragunov into the apron as JG Madal walked on the ramp to watch the match. During picture in picture, the two got back in the ring before Dragunov hit a leaping boot. But Trick Williams caught him with a jab before stumping away at Dragunov. Trick Williams hit another jab at Dragunov before slamming Dragunov in the corner face first. Trick Williams and Dragunov exchanged two chops before Trick Williams hit a series of right hands on Dragunov. Dragunov went for a suplex, but Trick Williams reverses it with a ripcord Irish whip on Dragunov before slamming him across the ring into another corner with a second consecutive Irish whip. Dragunov hit a back elbow followed by a chop, but Trick Williams responds by tossing Dragunov onto the bottom rope neck first before hitting a pop-up jab for a near fall. Excuse me. Back from the break, Trick Williams got Dragunov in a carve as JD Madal joins the broadcast team for the match. Dragunov powered off the hold and hit a series of elbow strikes before connecting a rebound lariat on Trick Williams. Dragunov hit three chops, a boot, a kick, a series of forearm strikes, and a leaping enziguri kick on Trick Williams right to the dome. Dragunov hit a leaping forearm strike before hitting a diving knee drop on Trick Williams. Dragunov went for a head weight German, but Trick Williams evaded and hit a roundhouse kick before hitting a twisted neck breaker for a near fall on the former NXT UK champion. Trick Williams went for a tornado kick, but Dragunov caught him and hit a powerbomb into a falling forearm on Trick Williams before hitting a growing suplex on Trick Williams. Dragunov tuned up the band and hit the torpedo Moscow on Trick Williams for the pinfall win. The winner of the match, Ilja Dragunov. This was a good match. Okay, let's move on. There was a video vintage of Jinder Mahal ahead of his match against NXT champion Braun Breaker before the title later in the night. Jinder Mahal referred Dolph Ziggler beating Braun Breaker before the NXT champion and promised to ruin all the plans and bring a new surprise to win the NXT title. Okay, Josh Briggs and one half of the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions Fallon Henley were backstage concerned for Brooke Jensen and Kiana James. Henley said that she would confront James in person to apologize. Okay, let me take a sip of my water right quick before I continue. Alright, let me continue. Miku Satomura. Miku Satomura hosts a class in the NXT Performance Center with multiple members of the NXT Performance Center, with NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez joining the class. Nearly all members of the class exit the class with the exception of Roxanne Perez. After doing 10,000 sit-ups, Satomura stopped her and told her that this was just the warm-up. Okay, Tyler Bate came to the ring to cut a promo despite the hecklers chanting, "We want Goldberg" / "No, we don't." Tyler Bate said that despite his doubts, he was excited as NXT was going to embark on the mystical journey, but the schemes Jagger, Red, Rip, Floor, Joel, Gacy, and Alba Rain interrupted Tyler Bate. JC said that the journey a man takes matters. It was just a case of whom he surrounds himself with. The floor tried to surround it. Tyler Bate, but Chase U, Andre Chase, and Duke Hudson and Dale Hall came to attack the Schemes ahead of their match of the die and the team of Hudson and Chase. Okay, next match we get Chase U, Andre Chase, and Duke Hudson versus the Die. Jagger Red and Rip Floor accompanied by Joe Gacy and Alba Rain. This was a decent tag team match. Okay, Duke Hudson and Chase U hit stereo back elbows on Floor, but before hitting a drop toho / elbow drop combo on Floor for a near fall. Floor and Red double team Chase U before Red hit a snapmare into a stone followed by a shorthand lariat on Chase U for a near fall. Floor tagged back in and hit a vicious forearm strike on Chase U before stumping his chest and hitting a tombstone shoulder breaker on Chase U for a near fall. Red tagged back in and hit a forearm strike on Chase U for a near fall before locking in a half chicken wing hole into a wrist lock on Chase U. Chase U leaped under Red before Duke Hudson tagged in. Duke Hudson hit 2 lariats on Red. The flip and flop on Floor, a lariat and a senton on Floor, and follow away slam on Red onto Floor. Chase U tag in and hit a thirst kick on Red for a near fall. Flora clothesline Chase U out of the ring before Duke Hudson clotheslines for out of the ring. Flora put Duke Hudson out of the ring in response, which allowed Red to catch him with a top suicide on Duke Hudson to the outside before the commercial break. Okay. Back from the break, Duke Hudson hit a backdrop on floor before Chase U and Red tag in. Red hit jab and atomic drop on Red and floor before hitting a trio of punches on Red and connecting the flatliner / DDT combo on Red and floor. Chase U hit a spinning neck breaker before. Chase U hit a spinning neck breaker on Red before hitting a moonsault on floor to the outside before hitting a diving crossbody on Red in the ring for a near fall. Red and Chase U exchanged forearm strikes before Chase U fired away with punches on Red before connecting a Russian leg sweep and hitting Chase U stumps. Thea was chased around by Ava Ray, while Duke Hudson hit a German suplex on Red. Chase U argued with Ray, which allowed Flora to attack Duke Hudson's neck before he and Red hit the double code breaker on Duke Hudson for the pinfall win. Duke Hudson and Chase argued after the match. The winner of the match, the Die, Jagger, Red, and Rip Flora, accompanied by Joe Gacy and Neville Rain. Decent tag team match. Let me continue. I had to take a sip of my water, but let me continue. Von Wagner and Mr. Stone argued backstage before Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks. Lorenzo interrupted them for stealing Tony D'Angelo's shot. Tony D'Angelo shot against Wesley. Tony D'Angelo challenged them to a match, but Wagner declines the match because Mr. Stone asked him. Tony D'Angelo and Lorenzo talk trash to Wagner before Wagner accepts Tony D'Angelo's challenge. Okay. Excuse me. Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey were interviewed backstage by Mackenzie Mitchell. Drew Gulak said that in order to succeed, you need to not be afraid of snapping people's limbs to win, which described Charlie Dempsey but not his former protege Hank Walker. There was a mention of Soroka saying that she continues to try new things in order to improve in every aspect possible. Okay, so we get Jesse. Not Jesse. Jacy Jayne versus Indy Hartwell. This was a solid match. This was solid. Excuse me. The two lock up. Indy Hartwell hit two Irish whips on two hand lariats. But Jacy Jayne responded with a lariat and two sentons on Indy Hartwell for a near fall. Jacy Jayne snapped Indy Hartwell's neck into the top rope before hitting a snap mirror into a front kick and a back kick for a near fall. Jacy Jayne got a headlock on Indy Hartwell and tried to choke Indy Hartwell out. Indy Hartwell broke the hold by slamming Jacy Jayne into the corner before slamming her onto the mat and hitting two jabs and a spinebuster on Jacy Jayne for a near fall. Indy Hartwell hit an uppercut into a running boot kick on Jacy Jayne, but Jacy Jayne responded by slamming Indy Hartwell into the ring post before hitting a cannonball and stomping away at Indy Hartwell in the corner. Jacy Jayne then kissed Indy Hartwell's forehead before connecting a mid-level haluba kick on Indy Hartwell. Jacy Jayne went for a second, but Jacy Jayne went for a second, but Gigi Dillon came back to NXT and immediately attacked Jacy Jayne from behind, awarding her former tag team partner the disqualification win. The winner by disqualification, JC Jane. That was a solid. I said solid match. Yeah, that was a solid match. Okay, excuse me. Rox- Roxanne Perez and Miku Satomura trained backstage in Satomura Dojo because Satomura told Roxanne Perez that in order to win, it comes from the heart, not the body. Zoe Starks was interviewed backstage and promised that she was done with Sokuruka before challenging Miku Satomura to a match. Okay, so we get Gallus, Mark, Coffee, and Wolfgang versus Edurus and Inafe and Malik Blade. Um, this was a quick tag team match, but let me take a sip more water before I continue. Hmm. Okay, Blade and Coffee began the match locking up before push Blade, but Blade responds with a cartwheel and attempt a drop kick. Coffee evade and hit a back drop on Blade. Wolfgang hit an uppercut on Blade before flipping over Blade and hitting another uppercut on Blade. Coffee tagged in and hit an uppercut and a jab on Blade before hitting a series of uppercuts into a half Nelson slam on Blade. Two peeps came to the ringside area with a cake, which distract Coffee enough to allow Inafe to tag in. Inafe hit a lariat on Coffee before hitting a Top Con Giro on Wolfgang to the outside, connecting a diving elbow on Coffee for a near fall. Inafe and Blade hit a Falcon Arrow / backstabber combo for a near fall. Wolfgang clothesline Inafe out of the ring before Coffee hit a lariat on Blade. Coffee and Wolfgang hit a forearm strike / power slam combination on Blade for the pinfall win. Okay, the winner of the match, Gallus, Mark Coffee, and Wolfgang. That was a decent. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was a decent tag team match. Decent. Okay, the two peeps brought a cake to congratulate Gallus, Mark Coffee, and Wolfgang for their 2-year anniversary of losing the NXT UK Championship to Pretty Deadly. Gallus attacked the peeps before Pretty Deadly viciously attacked um, Gallus from behind with chairs and stairs. Okay, excuse me. There was a vintage of Dabo Kato to respond. Remind Apollo Crews, who helped him in every big moment, and stated that he came to hurt Apollo Crews for leaving him alone in the main roster, and promised to be the one to take Apollo Crews out of the wrestling world. Okay, excuse me. Stevie Turner interrupted the broadcast and debuted the Stevie Randomizer. She talks about Laura Valkyra and her trajectory in NXT before saying that Valkyra was no match to her. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next match. So we get Tony D'Angelo accompanied by Channing Sachs, Lorenzo versus Von Wagner, accompanied by Mr. Stone. This was a average match. This was a average match. The match began with two locking up before Tony D'Angelo hit a series of body shots and a back elbow on Wagner. Wagner hit a series of corner spears, but Tony D'Angelo responded with a ripcord jab before Wagner hit a scissors kick on Tony D'Angelo. Wagner hit an Irish whip into a corner splash, but Tony D'Angelo responded with a jackknife slam on Wagner. Wagner hit a big boot on Tony D'Angelo before arguing with Mr. Stone. Wagner hit a lariat and hit a series of grand forearm strikes on Tony D'Angelo before connecting a body slam into a elbow drop before a near fall. Wagner hit two knee lifts on Tony D'Angelo abdomen before hitting two Irish whips into the corner splashes on Tony D'Angelo. Wagner went for a third, but Tony D'Angelo invaded and hit two lariats, a belly to belly slam, a lariat, a spine buster on Wagner before connecting a back to belly slam on Wagner for the pinfall win. Okay, the winner of the match, Tony D'Angelo slash Channing Stacks Lorenzo. This was a um decent match. I mean average match. My fault. Okay, let's move on. Kelly Kincaid, former Ring of Honor Quinn, and McKay interviewed Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo after the match. Um, Tony D'Angelo put over Stacks before Tony D'Angelo called out Dijak to a jailhouse street fight for NXT roadblock. Okay, excuse me. Nikhil Lyons was interviewed backstage by Mackenzie Mitchell and promised to be back in less than a year. Tiffany Stratton interrupted Nikhil Lyons and called the interview a waste of TV time, which Nikhil Lyons called suspicious. Stratton responded that if she was the one that attacked her, she would have laid her out permanently. Okay, Tatum Paxley and IV9 talk backstage ahead of Nine match against Albert Frey. Paxley hesitated but promised Nine she would join her at ringside for her match. Carmella Hayes and Trick Williams talk backstage before Tyler Bates congratulated Trick Williams for his efforts against Ilja Dragunov early in the night. Carmella Hayes praised Tyler Bates' abilities but told Bates to keep his lane away from the NXT Championship because that was his. Okay, so we get Alvi Arena accompanied by Tatum Paxley versus Albert Frey accompanied by El Sadon. This match was okay for what it was. It was okay. Excuse me. Nine and Frey began the match locking up before Albert Frey slammed Nine onto the mat. Albert Frey hit a chop on Nine, but Nine responded by slamming Frey to the corner before hitting a forearm strike on Frey for a near fall. Frey slammed Nine to the middle rope before stomping away at Nine, before hitting a facebuster and a penalty kick on Nine for a near fall. Albert Frey slammed Nine into the corner before hitting a lariat on Nine. Frey got a hammerlock on Nine before headbutting Nine's shoulder, but Nine slams Frey into the corner before firing away with punches and connecting a hurricanrana on Frey. Nine hit a leaping dropkick and went for a move, but Frey reverses it with a gory position. But Nine reverses it with a cold red for a near fall. Nine got Frey in a dragon sleeper, but Elsa Dawn distracted the referee. Nine accidentally pushed Paxley to the outside of the ring before Albert Frey caught her with a thirst kick. Albert Frey ended proceedings by hitting the gory bomb on Nine for the win. The winner of the match, Albert Frey. This match was okay for what it was. Okay, There was a video package of NXT champion Braun Breaker ahead of his match against Jinder Mahal in the main event of the show. Excuse me. Kiana James was in her office before Fallon Henley entered. Fallon Henley apologized to Kiana James for ruining her Valentine's Day incident, to which James accepted as long as she believes that she had Brooke Jensen's best interests. Okay. NXT North America champion Wesley was interviewed backstage by Mackenzie Mitchell, with Wesley saying that he would do an open challenge again next week. Okay. I take a sip of my water. But let me continue. So we get the the main event of the evening, NXT Championship match. Braun Breaker versus Jinder Mahal. In my opinion, this match. Now, I did not like how they put Jinder Mahal in an NXT Championship match. But thank God Jinder Mahal did not win the NXT Championship match. But this match was pretty good, but I just want to say I'm gonna say it was pretty good. Pretty good. Not a bad match, but it was just pretty good for what it was. Mahal and Breaker began the match, locking up before Mahal hit a takedown into a shoulder tackle on Breaker. The two lock up again before Mahal hit a back elbow and another shoulder tackle on Breaker. Jinder Mahal hit a gut kick and a series of forearm strikes. But Braun Breaker leaped over Mahal before hitting two shoulder tackles and a takedown on Mahal. Veer and Sadnaga pulled Mahal out of the ring, but Breaker responded by hitting two top con girl on the three to the outside. Back in the ring, the two lay each other out. Saga and Mahal tried to get involved, but the Creed brothers attacked Edith Shear to send them to the back. Okay. Doing picture-in-picture, Jinder Mahal and Braun Breaker exchanged shots before Breaker got a hammerlock on Mahal and slamming him to the corner. Braun Breaker hit a series of corner spears before hitting a body slam on Jinder Mahal for a near fall. Excuse me. Braun Breaker got a wrist lock on Jinder Mahal, but Jinder Mahal slammed Braun Breaker onto the corner before Breaker hit a belly to belly on Mahal. Braun Breaker got another wrist lock on Mahal after the commercial break before it hit a T-bone suplex on Mahal for a near fall. Mahal hit a big boot on Breaker to send him to the outside before slamming his head into the broadcast table and slamming Braun Breaker's shoulder into the stairs. Back in the ring, Jinder Mahal got a single leg hook on Breaker for a near fall before firing away with punches on Braun Breaker. Mahal went for a suplex on Breaker, but Breaker blocked the move. Mahal responded by dropping him to the mat. Jinder Mahal went for a suplex on Braun Breaker, but Braun Breaker responded with a suplex on Mahal. Excuse me. The two exchange punches before Braun Breaker two German suplexes and a sharp to a spine buster on Mahal. Braun Breaker pulled down his straps and aimed for the spear, but Jinder Mahal immediately rolled out of the ring. Braun Breaker slammed Mahal into the broadcast table before sending him back into the ring. As Braun Breaker slid back into the ring, Mahal hit a rising knee strike and a gut buster on Braun Breaker for a near fall. Excuse me. Jinder Mahal slapped Braun Breaker's face 3 times, but Braun Breaker responded with 2 corner spears. Jinder Mahal went for a top rope move, but Braun Breaker responded with a Frankensteiner before Braun Breaker hit a release suplex on Jinder Mahal for a near fall. Braun Breaker win for the diving bulldog, but Jinder Mahal caught him with a boot. Jinder Mahal win for the Collis, but Braun Breaker reverses it with a arm drag before connecting a spear on Mahal for the pinfall win. The winner and still your NXT champion Braun Breaker. Excuse me. This was a pretty good match. Pretty good main event. Okay, Carmelo Hayes was on the Ravens Nest, but the Peacock broadcast was cut by Grayson Waller because he stormed the production truck. Waller called out Shawn Michaels, inverted him to a special edition of the Grayson Waller effect to end the broadcast. And WWE NXT goes off the air. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Now WWE NXT gets a 4.5 out of 10. It was just a average show. But I just want to say this before I wrap this video up. I'm looking forward to see Carmelo Hayes taking the NXT Championship off of Braun Breaker. Because you know why I said it? Because Carmelo Hayes got the look and he got the swag and he don't miss. And I'm hearing rumors that Carmelo Hayes is going to be called up to the main roster to join the Hurt Business. I'm just hearing rumors about that. But I would love to see Carmelo Hayes take the NXT Championship off of Braun Breaker. This is Carmelo Hayes time. And that's all I got to say. But anyway, hold on. Excuse me. Let me collect myself real quick. Anyway, if you guys enjoy my WWE NXT review and highlights, please give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below on what are your thoughts on WWE NXT, because I give it a 4.5 out of 10. 4.5 out of 10. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications to get notified when I premiere a brand new video or I go live on YouTube. Follow my socials, my Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. And excuse me. And I will see you guys tomorrow for my AEW Dynamite review and highlights. This your boy B-Boy Fanshine TV. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. KFG crew, KFG Kings, Too Sweet. I'm out of here. Gang.